Hi again. I thought I'd do another one as I'm here today. How is everybody today? Before I start, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, please comment below, and please let me know how I'm doing and whether there's anything you'd like to talk to me about, or you'd like me to talk about rather, I should say. We can talk about smear campaigns. Smear campaign is when you decide to actually leave a narcissist, and they will then go around gaslighting you to everybody. They'll go around making up lies about you to everybody. They will fabricate things. They will rewrite history. They will tell everyone how everything is your fault, that you are a cheat, you're a liar, you're manipulating, you're the abusive one, you're the one that's been causing all the problems, you are responsible for everything that has happened, you have created the situation, you are causing problems at home. And with regards to myself, I was accused of cheating. I was accused of being manipulative and abusive and lying. My partner said that I dumped the children on him and just would disappear off, and he has no idea where I am. I could be having an affair. 10 years ago, I had a group of friends in Pakistan that I used to talk to, and on birthdays and things I sent them gifts. So he brought this up 10 years later, saying that justifies him calling me a prostitute, because 10 years ago I sent something to somebody in Pakistan, so that obviously clearly means that I'm just a low life prostitute, And he sat in the mosque in front of the imam and he called me a prostitute, and the imam didn't say anything to him, and that really hurt, because I haven't cheated on him. I've never cheated on him. I loved him and I wanted to be loyal to him. He cheated on me in the sense that he had girlfriends in Pakistan that he was still in contact with, that he still spoke to on the phone, that he never told that he was married. So even after we got married, on Valentine's Day, there were messages saying Happy Valentine's Day and so on, and she was still waiting for him to go back and marry her. So I would consider that as cheating. That's lying and cheating. He would add girls on Facebook. He would be chatting to them. I found the ends of conversations where he deleted entire conversations and just the last comment was left, which he must have forgotten to delete, or it came in afterwards. There were times when I would be sort of ill or in hospital or upstairs asleep with one of the babies, and he'd be downstairs on his laptop chatting away. I found him going on other people's pages, so on groups, on friends' pages, and chatting to girls. He would add colleagues and chat to them, and then he'd delete them and lie to me about it. And yet, he turns around and calls me a cheat. He calls me a liar and a manipulator and an abuser. But that's classic narcissistic behaviour. They will deflect all their behaviour onto us. So everything that they are doing, everything they are, all the negative traits, they will actually deflect onto us, and they will say that we are the abusers. We are the ones that are doing all this. We are cheating, lying, manipulating, abusing them. And that's just a classic narcissistic trait. That's what they do. That they can't help being like that. That's how they are. The other thing that they do, like I said, the smear campaigns. So he went around smearing me to everybody: my family, my friends, the community, the imam. He actually tried phoning the police, social services, counselling service, children's services, Sure Start, GP. So I had the GP phoning me randomly and saying, are you okay? I said, yeah, I'm fine. And she said, do you want antidepressants? I said, no, I don't think I do. And I told her what was happening. But that upset me. It hurt me. The counselling service and the police, they all just, checked with each other and realised that he was just, is a smear campaign, and that's what he was doing to discredit me. So they completely ignored him, which didn't go down very well with him. He put in a complaint about them. I don't know if he got anywhere with that, but there you go. But there were people who believed him. So for example, my sister, who was doing her community duty, being an amazing Muslim woman. Her brother-in-law has been kicked out of his house, has been arrested for domestic violence. So what does she do? She's such an amazing person. She lets him move in with her free of charge for 2 months. And then she messages me, doesn't tell me that he's there. She messages me and tries to sort of, pressure me into mediation, and her husband can do mediation for us and get us together again. And, Islam encourages mediation and so on, that kind of stuff. The other people that contacted me, yes, we had some family friends that I knew for about 10 years. Just a minute. Excuse me. forgot to bring my water with me today. Right, so we had some family friends that I'd known for over 10 years, from before when I knew him. So again, they're amazing Muslim people. If you're watching, Assalamu alaikum. Thank you for all your help and support for the years that you were with me. I didn't appreciate what you did last year. I'm sure you don't still understand how that was wrong of you to do that, and how you were used as flying monkeys and enablers of abuse. But if you do ever get to watch this video, I will hope you would understand what I'm trying to say. Is that what abusers do is they will go and lie to people. So they will contact all the people close to you, your family, your friends, your children, whoever they can, your colleagues, acquaintances, and they will paint a picture of them being in the right and you being in the wrong. So for example, with this particular couple, he made it out that I was cheating on him. He made it out that he was just a concerned father and husband. He wanted what's best for his wife and children. He's missing his children dearly. He hasn't seen his children. He wants to see them and he's desperate to see them. So this lovely couple, who are an amazing Muslim couple, you know, have their son was best friends with one of my sons. So there was a lot of dealings with them. My son stayed a lot with them when I was at work the first time I split up. So, you know, they did help me out a lot, and I really loved them for that, and I really respected them and appreciated them for that. They the wife, as soon as I started, I was telling her the week before, well, everything, and she was very supportive, very kind, very caring, very considerate. And then suddenly, the next time I spoke to her, the tone of messages changed, and I could tell something was different from the way she was texting me back. And I actually asked her, have you seen Saif, or have you spoken to Saif or something? And she said no, she hadn't. So then, but when I was trying to tell her that he was doing a smear campaign against me, and he was like, you know, attacking me in every way he could, the tone of her replies were changing. You know, I said that I wasn't happy to give him some of the things that I'd brought him personally because they had sentimental value, and she was like, well, just give it to him, you know, you can't do this, you can't do that, you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do that, and just really like having a go at me about everything. So I actually ended up blocking her at one point because I just thought, I don't want to be hearing this. You know, I can do whatever I want because he has been so abusive to me for 10 years. I have every right to say that these things have sentimental value, and I'm not happy to give them to him because I bought them for him out of love, and I don't want him to have them because, you know, he doesn't deserve it. And so I blocked her. A few days later, she phoned me. I was driving back from my interview actually, and I was really in a good mood. You know, she phoned me, and I thought, oh, they just care, you know, they're just considerate, they're caring people, they want to check up on me and the kids, make sure we're okay. And she said her and her husband want to come and see me. I said, yeah, you know, that's lovely. You know, I just thought, again, they're just caring, considerate people, they just want to come and check on us. You know, I'd love to see them, I haven't seen them for a while. So they came and saw me. The first thing they did, literally, as they sat down, was, I think her husband said, where's he gone? And I said, well, he's moved in with my sister, actually. And well, at the time, maybe I didn't even know where he was. I think I may have just said that I don't know where he is or something, or he's moved in with my sister. And it was the tone, it was the way they were talking to me. It was, you know, the accusing tone that, you know, I said I was talking to friends. He said, what, male or female? I said, female. I said, you know, whenever I've spoken to my friends in front of him, he's been there. If I've done a video call, he can hear me talking to them. If I'm on the sofa talking to them, I will tell him what we're talking about. I'll chat to him at the same time. I'll let him know what's going on. I'll show him pictures of things if they shared anything with me, you know, telling him all this stuff so he knew exactly who I was talking about and when. And yet these people came into my home under the false pretense that they were caring for me and considerate for me, and they were accusing me of cheating on him. They were accusing me of not being a good wife. They were blaming me for what had happened. When I asked them, I directly asked them, I said, have you seen or spoken to him? Have you had any dealings with him? And the wife didn't say anything at the time. The husband turned around and said, no, I haven't seen him for ages. It's been a long time. I found out later he'd been visiting. He'd popped to their house to speak to them. He hadn't seen the husband directly, but he'd stood at the door and spoken to the wife. So yeah, so they were flying monkeys for him. And did they understand what that meant? No, they didn't. As far as they knew, they were doing their Islamic duty by coming and pressuring me to get back together with him. We're just waiting for the airplane to go past because it's a bit noisy. It's just gone past there. Right, so as far as they could see, they were doing an Islamic duty. As far as an abuse victim goes, no, you're not. You're being a flying monkey because you're hurting the victim even more. You're condoning the abuse. You're supporting the abuser. You're encouraging them to abuse us. You know, by if you have the ability to stop that abuse, and instead of stopping that abuse, you're encouraging them and you're supporting them and you're helping them by pressuring us, by hurting us, by accusing us, by blaming us, by not believing anything we're saying, by completely ignoring us and invalidating us. That hurts. You know, we go through all this abuse, we go through all this rubbish, and then we have other people coming and telling us that we are in the wrong, that we've done something wrong, that we are to blame for it. We're not to blame for abuse. You know, we did not ask to be abused. We did not ask these people to hurt us or to humiliate us or to treat us in the way that they're treating us. And for you to come into our home and to tell us that we are to blame for it, that we've done something wrong, you know, is completely out of order. It's not appreciated. We don't need flying monkeys and enablers in our lives. The other person that I would say was an enabler is one of my son's best friend's mum. Again, lovely girl. I love her. You know, she's a really sweet person. And yet, I spoke to her one time, she was fine. The next time I spoke to her, I called him a Satan. Because as far as I'm concerned, narcissists are Satans. They have this devil inside them that they can flip from being, you know, from Dr. Jekyll to Mr. Hyde, completely flip. 1 minute they're amazing, and the next minute, within a second, you know, with nothing that you can explain why they're behaving like this, they will suddenly flip and they will completely turn into a monster. So I was referring to him as Satan, and she turned around and said, "Don't call him a Satan." And I said, "Why not? Why shouldn't I?" And she was just, you know, the tone of voice, the way she was talking, everything, it was just so negative. And I blocked her again. And then a few months later, I unblocked her to chat to her again because, you know, we'd bumped into each other at school and stuff. And she turned around and said to me that I shouldn't be on Facebook, that I shouldn't be, you know, spending my time helping people and supporting people, that my kids are precious, that I need to be concentrating on my kids because they need me. That, you know, that, I can't remember all the other stuff she said. You know, it was a whole paragraph of things where she's cutting me down basically and telling me that I'm in the wrong and I shouldn't be doing what I'm doing, you know, by supporting and helping people and trying to become a therapist or a counsellor or whatever it was I was trying to become. You know, I'm just trying to help people basically, a mentor or, you know, a life coach. And she said I was wrong in doing that. And again, how dare you? Who are you to tell me what I can and cannot do? Who are you to tell me that I can't help people, that I can't support people, that I can't mentor people, that I can't, you know, practice to be a therapist or a counsellor or whatever else it is that I want to do and spend my time how I want to do it? I've done hundreds of courses, possibly not hundreds, maybe 10, 15 courses. I've done childcare courses, I've done MVR, I've done parenting, I've done early years, baby incredible years, child incredible years. I had 100%, so A star in child development at school. I've studied child psychology, I've studied psychology. And this person who, I don't think she's had any qualification. It doesn't even matter. To be honest, it doesn't matter whether she's qualified, whether she's not. For her to turn around and tell me how I should look after my kids and what I should do and what I should spend my time doing, it's just completely bang out of order. Again, who are you to tell me that? Who are you to tell me I can't spend my time helping people or supporting people or going on Facebook? Even if I wasn't helping and supporting people, if I want to go on Facebook and spend all my day on Facebook, who are you to tell me I can't do that? You know, you have no right to tell me that. I have been controlled for 40 years now. I have the right to decide what I do with my time. So these kind of enablers and flying monkeys that always come out of the woodwork, you know, you think these people care about you. The other person was my next door neighbour, which really hurt me, to be honest with you, because the police had actually said to me, ask your neighbours for help. And they were the first neighbours that I went to because I was closest to them. They're my next door neighbours. I'm sorry if this hurts you. I'm sorry if this upsets you. But it really hurt because I expected some help and support. I expected, when I asked you, look, if you see him around, can you just tell me? They've got my number. They can just text me. If he comes to your door, if you see him park up, anything like that, the police have asked me to ask you for help. He turned around and said, we don't want to get involved. And yet a couple of days later, the narc dropped off an envelope with ripped up photos of mine. So he'd ripped up all the photos, so where there were photos of me and him together, he'd ripped it up and he stuck it in an envelope and he sent it back to me. to kind of prove a point that, well, you know, you're trash. And he handed this to my neighbour, and my neighbour took it, and then a couple of hours later he handed it to me over the garden gate and said, oh, he's just dropped that off for you. And that hurt, because that meant that you have just taken something from him and passed it on to me, so you're helping him and supporting him. But when I asked for help and support and asked you just to text me if you see him, or just let me know if you see him, then you don't want to get involved and help. And then I realised, it dawned on me later why they did that. Because on one occasion, the narc, who normally only ever speaks in English, in Urdu, he never speaks in English, he only speaks in Urdu, he purposefully came into the kitchen with the kitchen door open. I was cooking, so our neighbours could hear from the next door that, you know, what was going on in our kitchen, and he shouted at the top of his voice, you're cheating on me, you're cheating on me. And, you know, and I realised that they heard that, so automatically they assumed that I was cheating on him, we were having domestic, we were having issues because I was cheating on him, and so, you know, that was what the row was, and they automatically took side, so they automatically supported him and assumed, you know, he was in the right. You know, he seems like a perfectly amazing husband, amazing father, kind, caring, gentle. He goes to work in the morning, he comes home in the evening, you know, what more can you ask for? But again, that's a flying monkey. That is an enabler of abuse. And the other person I would say is an enabler, well, even my children, say for example my 17-year-old and 24-year-old, they are enablers of abuse, because what they do is, my whole life, so for as long as they've known, my mother, my sisters, and my partners have been abusive to me. And instead of standing up for me as being their mother, you know, telling my mother, you can't talk to my mum like that, telling my sisters, you can't talk to my mum like that, they love their aunties, they love their cousins, they love their granny, you know, they will never say a word against them. And if anything, they'll come to me and say, you're causing problems, you're saying this, you're causing issues, why are you, you know, I think one of my sons said, why are you causing beef with your sister? Because what happened was, my mum wanted to give me some money, bribery. My sister texted me and said, you know, what account do you want it in? It's your money. And I said, no, it's not my money, I don't want it. Apparently it's inheritance money from my dad from 3 years ago when he died. If he had inheritance money 3 years ago, I'd have expected to get it 3 years ago. Then it transpires it's not inheritance money, it's money that my cousin had bought land from my dad, so they were trying to give me the money. I said, I don't want it, I don't want anything from her. You know, she's been abusing me for 40 years, I don't want any of her money. You know, as far as I'm concerned, that's blood money, and it's to keep me quiet, and I don't want it. So I said, I'll build a well in the village in Bangladesh where people are poor and they can't afford anything. Build them a well, and they can go past. When they go past, they can drink some water, and that way at least we get prayers from them. You know, they need it, I don't. My sister turned around and said, oh, you sound like you've got a lot of money then, you know, you don't need any money. I said, no. I said, you know, did he not tell you? Because apparently, according to him, which is what he said when he was sat in the mosque in front of the imam, I'm just a prostitute. So I'll just sell myself if I have to. You know, I'd rather sell myself than take a penny from her. You can give that money to the poor. I don't want it. When my sons heard about it, they're like, why don't you take the money? I said, I don't want her money. Why would I want her money? It's blood money. But no, my son turned around and said, well, you're causing beef with your family. Why are you causing beef with your sisters? I said, I'm not causing beef. Okay, I don't even know what causing beef is meant to be. Is that even a word? You know, I guess that's what all the youngsters go around talking about, beef. I don't want their blood money. And the fact that my children turn against me as soon as anything like this happens, and it's me against my family, or me against my sisters, or me against my partners, they will automatically support the other person. You know, automatically it's my fault. I'm the one causing the problems. I'm the issue. I'm the one that's, you know, arguing. I'm the one that's, you know, causing beef. I'm the one that's being horrible. I'm the one that's saying horrible things. Automatically, without even knowing what the situation is, you know, they already have this misconception of me that, you know, I just like to cause problems, that I'm a troublemaker. So anything that happens, anything that will, you know, go on is automatically my fault. And these smear campaigns that they do against us, you know, the abusers do a smear campaign. My mother has forever done a smear campaign. You know, she has literally turn everybody against me, and I've seen her do it with other people, so it's not just me. So for example, my brother comes home, he's in the Navy, and he comes home and he's not listening to her, or she wants him to do something, or she doesn't want him to do something and he's not listening and he was exerting some of his independence or free will, and she doesn't like it. She won't have it. So what she does is she'll talk to me, talk to my sisters, and she'll automatically try and turn us against him. She'll say, oh, he's doing this, he's doing that, he's not listening, he's missing, he's being a pain, and she'll turn people against him, and I've heard her say this, and for me, when she says things like that, it would go in one ear and out the other, because to be honest, I know exactly what she's like, exactly how manipulative she is. Nobody else seems to see it, nobody else can understand what she's doing, and I can see exactly what a manipulative person she is. And she does it with everybody, whenever like my other sister, who doesn't talk to her at all, hasn't spoken to her for a few years, and she does it with her as well. So she'll be in our ears constantly. She's done this, she's done that, she's not listening, I just want to talk to her, I just want to make up with her, and she'll try and turn up at her house, or she'll try and turn up at my other sister's house when the other sister might be there, and just forcing people to talk to her, forcing people to accept her. You've been abusive to us. Why would we want to talk to you? Why would we want to have anything to do with you? And yet, even after, it's the hoovering process, even after abusing you for years, even after turning everybody against you, hurting you, humiliating you, they start hoovering you back because they can't bear to lose control of you. It's an insult to their abilities if a victim gets away. So it's almost like a victim's got away, so they can't let you get away. So they start hoovering you back. So they will, all of a sudden, they're amazing. All of a sudden, they care. All of a sudden, they're throwing money at me. They're caring about my kids. They're sending out gifts for my kids. All of a sudden, it's like, and that then is gaslighting, because it almost gaslights you to think maybe you got it wrong. Maybe you're over-exaggerating. Maybe it's not as bad. Maybe they can be decent people, and they end up gaslighting you. They end up making you confused. They end up making you to question your own memory and your own thoughts and your own feelings. That did that really happen? Did I really feel that? Did they really do that to me and say those things to me? And you end up allowing them to come back in your life. You think, oh well, never mind, they're family, they're friends. And that is really detrimental when we think, it's my mum, it's my son, it's my sister, it's my husband, it doesn't matter, let them, it's okay, we can work it out. And they make you believe that you work it out. They convince you that that they've changed, they've got a personality transplant, whatever it is. My narc promised to sign a contract that he was going to behave himself and stuff. Did he sign a contract? No. But they do that. They'll lie, they'll future fake, they'll make up all this rubbish that they're going to do for you, anything. They'll get you the stars, whatever. They don't, none of them do, but they try and make you believe that they will. So so all of this comes into the smear campaign, it comes into the gaslighting, it comes into the the discrediting and the devaluation, and you're left feeling that you can't trust your own judgment. Maybe you got it wrong. They invalidate you, they don't allow you to feel how you feel. They say that you're wrong for feeling that, and they end up giving you mixed messages, and then you're left confused and not sure what to think or believe, and then you allow other people to pressure you into taking them back and being hoovered back with them, and it just leaves you more worthless. You've been through all this, you've been through all this abuse and things, and then suddenly everyone's telling you that you're in the wrong, that you shouldn't be complaining about it, you shouldn't be upset about it. It's fine, but you've got it wrong, that you've jumped the gun. You've made a mountain out of a molehill. You're exaggerating. You're attention seeking. So don't let other people tell you how to think or how to feel. You know exactly what's happened. You know exactly how they've treated you. You know exactly how they've made you feel. So don't let them come in and tell you otherwise, that that's wrong, because you're not wrong. You're right. I'm going to sign out soon. Subscribe to my channel. Comment below. Let me know how I'm doing. Take care. Have a lovely day. Stay safe. Bye.